work hard your whole life, and you get to a point where you should be able to relax, but you don't feel good, and you can't travel, or you can't walk down the block. That's not rewarding, and I think.
And he really wasn't able to walk down the block.
And I think that is a lot of people have these issues.
That was a concern for me, because I started to think about the future, and as we got older and what was going to happen, I want to be able to do exercise and move, and want to be able to travel, and I want a companion, and if he couldn't do it, that would be difficult.
This
Wolfgang is 3.
I don't know where Fox is.
Fox is on top of the fire.
My name is Chuck Bernclau. I'm 69, doing this for 10 months now.
I'm 68, and we've been together, well, we met at the end of 1990, so however long that is. 34, it'll be 35 like at the end of this year, my goodness.
I knew that I had to do it because if she was going to do it, she was going to be in much better shape than me, and I would never be able to keep up with her. And I think that's what I said to you. I said, I'm not going to be able to keep up with you if I don't do this.
You still can't
so we
keep
both
up
have
with
to.
me.
We both have to. Well, ask them over there who's keeping up with who. It's only a contest with yourself. It's like, how far can I go? That's one of the great things that they do there is they say, what do you want to be able to do? And the first thing I said to Kate is, I want to be able to stand with my bass and play a set standing up like I used to.
I had this herniated disc which originated from a fall many, many years ago, and it was never really treated. I'd been dealing, with that, and it uncomfortable, but also just really wanting to stay in shape, wanting to feel strong, wanting to feel flexible, especially as we get older. I mean, it's like a very important motivator for me in terms of doing this.
All I ask is that I can carry my equipment and, move the groceries in and carry some bottles, stand with my bass like a normal person, be able to go for a walk. So for me, it was really more about, I just don't want to be an invalid, and I'm not that old. I don't want to be sitting in a chair my whole life and just getting fat. So that was really my main motivator.
We've been in yoga classes and Pilates classes, and you do get some one-on-one attention. But the big difference for me is that here you're getting one-on-one attention. The approach is much more holistic than other places would ever be. So they're not just looking at, oh, well, you could lift this weight. They're looking at, your stress level, what you're eating. They're making great recommendations on how to, just make your lifestyle better. And, I work out with Sam. She's wonderful. And she's just incredibly flexible and adaptable.
I could have joined the gym, but, I know a little about working out from over the years, but I really don't know what I'm doing. And I certainly can't tell that, my range on one leg is less than the other. I didn't even know about that stuff. I didn't know that my left leg was weaker than my right leg and my left arm is stronger than my right arm. I had no idea, until I started doing this stuff. And it's a big difference. I never would have gotten the balance.
I like having my, someone watching my form and tweaking it, even if it's a little bit. That really works for me, and working out with a really good trainer.
With Ascend, it's even more of a feeling like I can do this myself now. Even though every time I'm in Ascend, even if it's a class where there's a lot of people doing Ascend, whoever that person is that's watching, they don't miss a thing. I hear them from across the room. Chuck, you're dropping the shoulder, they're always watching. So however they're trained, you're not left on your own to mess up. I've never had an issue with feeling like, oh, nobody's watching me, they don't know what I'm doing. They're always watching you.
Because there are days that I go in there and everything is kind of hurting. And then I go in and I think, all right, how am I going to work out? And somehow I do it. And I'm lifting these weights and doing these bends and twists and this and that. And I'm thinking, isn't this interesting? Despite how my body might be feeling, my body is able to do this. And that's the gift of active life.
When you come home after this, you're tired and you're sweating and you're like, yeah, but I did it, you know? And I know I did it right because somebody was watching me.
When we were in Edinburgh, the streets are very uneven, very hilly, cobblestoned, all of that. And we went with a friend of ours, and she was looking at me like going up and down these cobbled streets and so on and so forth. And she said, "You're moving along like a mountain goat." And I thought, oh yeah, I am doing pretty well here. You know, I felt like my balance was good, and you know, I was able to navigate.
The year before this, we went to London with the same friend, and I was unable to do some of the walks. And when we got to Scotland, I could keep up with either one of them. I'm walking up this crazy staircase, and I'm like, I couldn't have done this a year ago. You know, I couldn't have done this at all.
You couldn't have done that. Scotland would not have been a trip.
And it was nothing for me. You know, this time I wasn't even thinking about it. It wasn't even like, oh man, I can't. You know, I'm pushing myself to do this. I just did it. So that's the other good thing, is you don't have it in the back of your head, you know, that I got to push myself to do this. You just can do it.
I just feel like stronger and more fit, and that I'm doing the right thing for me. So it's like an overall epiphany. It's not one moment, it's just an overall feeling that this is what I want to be doing, and this is what I want to continue doing, and it's only going to help me with other forms of exercise we do.
So this is like really good, because before people would look at me and go, "Do you want me to help you with that?" You know, and it's embarrassing when you know, somebody looks at you and says, "Do you need help?" Nobody asks me if I need help now when they see me. You know, I don't get that anymore.
They say it behind your back.